there goes my voice. It's almost like I'm at the end of it. 16 hours of talking. If anyone's got a question, please raise your hand now. I mean, I think it's only fitting to begin with, we start with the Leela.
Yes.
Leela down here, green t-shirt, single eye. A mic is coming towards you as we speak.
Why did Futurama have to stop? I was quite sad that we decided to cancel it.
Can you text me that? Oh, why? Well, Fox, I heard never really liked it, but I think that they had like some sort of a little secret war going on between Matt and Fox, that he didn't want anybody from the network hanging around the sessions. He wanted autonomy.
Well, didn't it get cancelled for a year and then it got brought back and
yes,
then it got moved around?
But I have to thank the fans. It was the fans that brought the show back. And
like, because that must be quite disheartening. I assume like you must get really into those characters and then you're like, right, I wonder what's happening next year.
Oh, we were off for like 5 or 6 years or something like that. And then when we got back together, it was like, it's like riding a bike. You know exactly what you hear it in your head. You can jump back and do it.
Really, there's like no just kind of okay.
No,
let's try and find this one again.
Same chemistry because all these people were so brilliant.
I
was very lucky.
So it really is just I've got the voice. I can jump back into it anytime.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't change.
I'm
getting up there. I have to wonder if I'll can come back one more time and sound like an adolescent.
Okay. Any more questions? Do we have anyone around? Sorry, but blue t-shirts.
He's got a lot of running
because
to do.
Bite My Shiny Metal Ass.
Yep.
I mean, literally, Futurama in some episodes is just you speaking with Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War.
Yeah.
Hello, Billy.
Hi.
Have you got any more podcasts on the way?
Have I what?
Podcasts.
Yes, I'm going to start them up again. They're labor intensive because I didn't want to be lazy and just say, oh, this is the Billy West podcast and I'm going to interview one of my friends in the business, because everybody does that. So I decided to make it like an old radio show, except it was described as meta absurdist. I'll take it, because I didn't want to be political. I didn't want to be religious in any way. I didn't want to have victim, to create comedy. I want to have victimless comedy, so it winds up to be like totally absurd. And I've got some more. I've got one that's recorded with Mark Hamill, so we'll be putting that up.
Well, it was really fantastic to hear you all again.
Was that?
It was really amazing to hear you all again, doing your voices.
It'll be fun.
It's something different.
Yeah, well, our boss, the podcast boss, he's we don't know if he's 7 or 30. He wears like this little Armani suit, and he goes, "Have you guys ever heard yourself? You're unlistenable." And I said, "Wait a minute, that's a rush to judgment. I bet you never listen to us." "Oh yeah." And we don't know. I beat him up, but he might be 7.
Thank you for such an amazing day.
Oh, thank you.
So we'll come back to questions in a second. Moving on to something I suppose that's a little bit more serious now, almost.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't know about you guys, Futurama is a fantastic series.
So funny.
Who likes Futurama here?
Wait.
Who totally thinks it ended too soon?
Wait.
Yeah, I did. I have separation anxiety like you don't know.
Now, I mean, it is pretty funny, but Futurama is now almost famous for its like
cancellations.
I was gonna say it's serious moments. It's really kind of gut-wrenching, like hard-hitting moments.
But the writers were so good. One day they said, "Let's write an episode that will tear everybody up." I mean, in a big way. And it wasn't for sadistic purposes. It was right to the heart. And it was the Fry's dog waiting for him forever.
Oh, don't. I'll actually tear up.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that I began to think, why did everybody, they loved it, but they hated it? And I said, well, geez, everybody knows what it's like to bond with an animal. And we all have, cats or dogs or some kind of pet, and you want them to live forever, or at least as long as we do, and they don't. You have to say hello and goodbye to a lot of good little friends in your life. And so that addressed that, and it had an emotional resonance. And I couldn't watch it. I mean, I knew it was going to be sad when I was reading it, but I didn't know how sad. You know, I was watching it.
So
It was like,
was it like the usual feel when you were recording it then? It didn't feel, or was it a bit,
Well,
did it hit you a bit harder?
it
or-
was hitting me as something that was had some gravity to it. This was going to be a little heavy, but not as sad as I thought. You know, it just blew me away how sad I felt. But you know, they came around and they made an addendum to sort of rescind the punch, the 1-2 punch of the original episode.
What, they made it less?
Yes, yes, yeah.
What on earth did they do to make it less sad?
You throw in a song like "Don't you forget about me."
Oh. But see, that's another thing as well. Like, they kind of, from what I've seen, I don't know if you felt this with Futurama. I'm talking a lot about Futurama. Stop me eventually.
No,
Please
you're
do.
fine.
Kind of a Futurama fanboy. What can I say? They seem to avoid the past. Because
Yeah.
all the episodes in the past are when you realise just how sad that whole kind of everyone he knew is dead kind of thing.
Well, you know what? That's not a new thing. I mean, everybody's kind of, well, adults, when you get older, you remember back to when you were a kid, and so much time has gone by, and I visited my hometown, and I walked by my old house, and I said, what would it be like to look in the window and see my mother making a grilled cheese sandwich with the soup, you know, and I'd be sitting on the rug in the living room glued to the television set. And if you could go back and look, it would make you extremely sad. It wouldn't make you happy. It would make the heart long.
Well, the big moment that I always remember is the digging up the grave.
Yes.
You know, here lies Philip J. Fry, named for his uncle to carry on his spirit.
Yeah.
And you get that realization of who exactly it is.
Boy, this is getting maudlin. I need a handkerchief.
Right, sorry, let's move this on.
I
Sorry,
need a
let's stop talking
handkerchief.
about it. Right, let's have a few more questions up there. We'll move off Futurama, or whatever question we want. Zap, ask me a question that's happier.
Hey, I just want to say thank you for making the con so great. I just want to ask, what's one of the funniest lines you've been given to say?
One of the funniest ones? Well, it's one that it stuck in my head because it was so silly. On Futurama, there was a piece of business where somebody said, "Hey Fry, I heard beer makes you stupid," and he goes, "No, it doesn't." You know, and I looked at it and I didn't get it, and I said to David Cohen, the director, "David, no, it doesn't." You know, like, "Are you sure?" You know, and he goes, "Please read it as written." And I did, and I still didn't get it. And then when it's on TV, I was like, ah! You know, it hit me. But the thing was, it was the best acting I ever did in my life because I didn't get it. And Fry is one of those guys that doesn't get it.
I love that. The only way to make it funny is you've just got to just be an idiot.
You be, rather than try to, you know, become.
Any other questions, Zap? That's fine.
You good for now?
Okay, little white t-shirt, green jacket thing.
Apart from here in England and in America, have there been any other countries that you've travelled to and find a series that you've been just bigger problem?
Oh, can you put the microphone closer? Oh, Tech's not there, so we can't even turn it up. Tech, can you turn the roving microphone up a little bit? We're having trouble hearing. All right, talk it right into it.
You're gonna eat that microphone.
Hear me?
Just about.
I just saying, apart from England and
Yes.
America, have there been any other countries you've been to where they've found a certain series is very more popular over there than it would be anywhere else?
I always heard Ren and Stimpy was really popular here, and I heard that Futurama was big here. It's also in New Zealand and Australia. And, I can tell you that they dubbed Ren and Stimpy into different languages, and the Japanese little kids were watching it, you know, and they thought it was real crazy and that it was the most American thing they'd ever seen in their life, whatever that means. Probably means nuts. And they also dubbed it into German, and they did focus groups. The little German kids were like scared. They were scared of it because Ren was screaming, and you know, he probably reminded them of a character from their history. But yeah, there's places that I hear that it's really popular, but that goes for wherever they show it. It's sort of a universal thing. Everybody sort of gets it. Lucky me, lucky me.
Any more questions? Down at the front, actually, Zora, you had your hand up like really, really early on. Hold your keyblade high and a microphone shall appear.
Ah, the key to the city.
Hi Billy, how you doing?
Hi.
My question is for you, is out of all the episodes of Futurama you've done, what's your most favourite one that you've done?
I think I love the one where Dan Castellaneta played the robot devil. And it was called The Devil's Hands. And they had that fiddle playing contest. And we did a little miniature opera in it that was written by one of the writers who was a total science head. Yet he can write operatic movements and everything. And it's like so talented all over the place. But yeah, that was my favorite.
Is it hard singing in something that's not your own voice then?
You just kind of learn how to do it. You know, because when I was coming up, I played music for a living. And before I did original songs, you had to do covers. So it was like, we got to learn that Elton John song that just came out, you know. So I would have to sound really close to what they did, and then the next week it'd be some other guy, and you know, it was like a jukebox.
You just had to keep...
Yes. What?
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's happening with the Emperor's Throne? I have no idea what that said. Oh. Great.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Moving on, let's have a bit of a silly one because I've had to ask this. The elephant in the room, like the biggest role, best role that you've ever had. Everyone here will have seen it, but might not know it was you.
Really?
The red M&M.
Oh. Yeah, I'm the red M&M, all right.
How on earth did that come about?
I don't know. Have you ever eaten me? I became part of the American landscape.
Seriously, red M&M.
But this will kill you. The yellow M&M is one of the best actors, not only that I ever met in my life, but he's like a national treasure. And he was in, there used to be a show on HBO years ago called Oz. It was a prison show. And he played the worst guy in the prison, Schillinger, the white supremacist, neo-Nazi. You know, kill you for looking at him, and he was just out and out nasty. And you know, I went to do the session for M&M's, and I see it's that guy. So I come home one time, and my wife said, "Have you seen HBO's Oz?" I go, "No." She said, sit down, watch this. Now look at this guy right here. Look at this bastard. He ain't no actor. He's the real deal. Look at him. And I went. She said, "What?" I said, "I know him." "You do?" I said, "Yeah, he's the yellow M&M." and he stole a Spider-Man movie. He was J. Jonah Jameson. He was in Juno. You know, I mean, the guy is in everything, and he's the nicest guy in the world and super talented. He won an Oscar for Whiplash.
Oh, no, that's a
Drumming
great film.
Yeah, he won an Oscar, and then 2 days later he was working with me. You know, he's a journeyman. It's like he has no attitude. You know, just one of those really all-around nice people.
That's, oh, I mean, right, so, any role ever, what would your dream role be?
I can't imagine. I've done most of my dream things without realizing it. You know what I mean? You look back and you go, I was lucky to be so involved with edgy, you know, the really nice edgy programs that became the template for a lot to follow. The best thing about the cartoon renaissance in the early 90s was there was The Simpsons, and then Ren and Stimpy, or Beavis and Butthead were in no way like The Simpsons. And then Ren and Stimpy was in no way like Beavis and Butthead. And then Family Guy. Like, none of them, you know, all different flavors, all different distinct styles. And, you know, normally it's like somebody makes a big hit and everybody else comes rushing along to be the first, to be second to do something. You know, oh, well, let's do our version of it now. And it's like chasing lightning, you know. And this was a very special time that the audiences were treated to unbelievable stories and characters that They weren't derivative of each other. Yeah.
Have you ever been given a part that you've read through and been a bit like, no, I'm not sure about this, and it's actually like turned out to just be amazing?
Let's see. You know what it is? The only thing I can tell you about turning down is like after Ren and Stimpy was done, they wanted to resurrect it, and my problem with it was on Ren and Stimpy, what made it funnier than hell was the gay innuendos, the little eyelash batting and little things, you know, that's comedy. That made things funny. Comedy was always about that. Somebody walking out in a dress, you know, without really addressing the thing. And they come back with this new show and they just shove it in your face, what's going on. And I said, that's not funny. There's no dynamic. I mean, if it's like spelled out, you know. So I said, I really don't want to do that. And audiences didn't like it. They betrayed the characters. You know, you don't introduce them as one thing and then reinvent them as something totally different. And the thing is the gay jokes, I mean, you know, all the gay people I know love a good gay joke, but you better be funny if you're going to make jokes. Because if you're not, you're going to the dumpster after 4 episodes, and that's what happened. So, did that make any sense, or I just sound like a bitter old fart? Don't answer that.
Right, any more?